We're Hello Industry. This is Heather Peterson. She plays the keys and runs the loops.
And this is Brett Ellen. He plays the electric guitar.
And this is Nathan Peterson, our lead vocals and acoustic guitar.
This right here is James Ross. We'll Photoshop him in later, right? He's the bass player, and he takes care of all the packing of all the trailers.
How would I describe Hello Industry as a band now? I definitely feel like it's something that's not completely defined yet, and I think that there's going to be a lot of growth that we have as a group. I mean, we're still a young group and we're learning a lot, and each of our own individual skills are changing.
Each person is just really excellent at their particular instrument. James has a lot of jazz history in training, and so he brings that. I have kind of a similar background where I focused on classical piano for my degree.
It's changed a lot. Like 10 years ago, or 9 years ago when we started, we were a worship band at Crusade, and I don't know, in the last 10 years it's completely morphed.
The Hello Industry is a rock band.
I want it to be a good band, but I guess I visualize it being like just more of a movement, like the beginning of honesty. I don't know.
Would it ever reach your ears? Could you save me by surprise? When the cold night arrives, would you even hear me cry? Would it ever reach your ears?
There's a lot of differences between Fooled and MaryAnn. All the songs from Fooled were over like a, I don't know, 8-year period, and then all of the songs from MaryAnn were over a 1-year period, or like a 6-month period even.
Fooled was like, it had to be 5-6 years of writing, all kind of culminated together into one album. It was kind of like, I hope that we can get all our music recorded, and finally we were able to, and so there it was. MaryAnn, I feel like, you know, it was all written in like a matter of a year. It was all, each song progressed off the next one.
Because when Nathan wrote them, he told us, he was like, these songs can be anything, just think of what he had as just kind of like a skeleton for just kind of a starting jumping off point. So we all kind of gave our 2 cents a little bit more when we like arranged this record, and so I think that's probably the biggest difference.
MaryAnn like represents, I think, the 5 band members who wrote the album, and it's just I think a much more cohesive and unique project.
Even some things such as where each of us as band members fits into the group has solidified a little bit in the beginning, and that partially is impacted by, you know, how the songs are written and what contribution that you've had. And so on this album, since it's done differently than Fooled, I think that it grew more in the direction of how things are going to be in the future.
Hello, we're here with day 7 of electric guitar recording. Here's Brett. We wanted to show you what kind of pain Brett has to go through.
It's not too bad yet, but after 7, here's the status of the fingers. Getting more calloused, still not quite where they should be. Got some nice matter flying off the tips though.
Kind of falling apart.
This hand, there seemed to be some problem with my pick vaporizing. I don't know if you can see the black on the middle finger, and there is just a little bit of blood there if you can see that. So recording's going pretty nicely, as you can tell from the status of my fingers.
I love Make Believe. That's, I think, probably my favorite song. It just sounds so, I don't know, you just are like transported to this mood. Or I remember when Nathan wrote it, He sang it for me the first time and only sang it once. And for the next 2 days, I could not get that chorus out of my head. I was like running down the, jogging or whatever the next day, and I was like, I had that ooh, like stuck in my head, and I was like, where is that? Oh, it's from Nathan's new song.
I knew that I wanted to use, I have a guitar in Epiphone Riviera, and I really love this guitar. It's a hollow body guitar and really adds an extra like dimension to the tone. And it's not just a hard rock electric tone. It's a little bit older fashioned. It's more like a guitar that the Beatles would play, semi-hollow body. And so it has almost like this sparkle or lots of harmonics into the tone. And so it's just a very simple, lots of one-line type of movements within the song.
Make Believe's probably one of my favorites, and I wish I had like a really good story about how it came about, but I was actually just playing with a keyboard in Guitar Center. A friend of mine told me that tone inspires parts, and so I was just playing with different sounds on this keyboard, and there was a certain tone that I had, and I liked it, and I was just playing a couple chords, and just really loved how it sounded. So I went home and got on the piano and just started messing with those chords. The way that it resolves at the end is just like, it's very dorky, and if you were to do that like 5 or 10 years ago, it feels like it would have been frowned upon, but now like it's kind of almost retro, so it was kind of cool, but it kind of fit because the whole thing's about this make-believe world that I'm living in, and maybe there's something more real behind it. So for it to end like that with a big bow on it is almost kind of like satire.
It's more of a feel song, and it's more of a tone song for me. So that's a nice song to be able to kind of just say, phew, okay, now I can just really enjoy this song and not worry about how am I gonna play this next note type of thing. For Pieces, really, that's a song that almost I had very little, I guess, contribution to. From the beginning, I knew that Nathan had essentially a story or something that he lyrically wanted to say with that. And so from the very beginning, I'd almost say that was one of the first ones that he was probably working on, because he already knew what he wanted to do, and he was creating a lot of the electric synthesized sounds or electronic, keyboard sounds.
Pieces is definitely, I think, the most unique song on the album, at least compared to all the other songs. It's very different. A lot of the songs I wrote, I sat on my computer in like GarageBand and just kind of plucked out some chords and just tried to get it down, and then I'd bring it to the band for them to listen to. But with this one, when I got done plucking it out on the computer, I really hesitated bringing it to the band because I liked it so much that I almost didn't want to change it at all. Lyrically, it's also one of the more meaningful songs to me. It's about injustice, and I think it could apply to a lot of different situations. I mean, I know it applies to a lot of different situations, but I guess the bottom line for me in the song is about instead of just accepting injustice, looking at it in the face and not being able to do anything about it, and just that you can feel that frustration in the song. And so the song ends with really all I can think to say to that injustice, which is, I know you're going to go down, I'm just not right now, but it's coming, and just kind of leave it at that.
Well, hey, we're here on day 5 of our keyboard recording. Nathan Peterson Band recording for the album Ugly. It's going to be good. And we wanted to show you guys, we actually have an endorsement. They actually, they don't pay us any money or give us anything for free, but there's this restaurant next door called the Rib Shack. Just take a look at that. That's pretty much what we work next to every single day. I'd like you to pay special attention to the slogan. We're trying to come up with a slogan similar to this for the band. Y'all have enough to eat. Thinking maybe like y'all have enough music or something like that.